Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Namibia, and this is NamibianoTV, presenting all across the globe. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Olsen Kahiriri, a very passionate man. There is a popular belief that you are a threat to certain people, certain organizations, because of the remarks that you make. Can you clarify that for us?
People are afraid of people who fear nothing. That's why I always go with the slogan of I fear folk. The moment you see in the environment of the world, it's created that we must fear the person that is on top of us. In this instance, it will be the political figures. We must fear them. We must not speak bad about them while they are doing the wrong things. So, the thing that makes me as a threat to other organizations is I cannot be. No one in this country can afford me. No one can afford my loyalty. They have tried it several times. You will be shocked at the phone calls I receive every day. People would want me to fight their battles, but I'm not interested in that. Because they know that there's something special maybe I possess, which is speaking the truth. And a person who speaks the truth has an upper hand in the most things that they get engaged in. Because people want us to be weak, to get comfort from others. So the moment you say you are not afraid of anything, because why should you be afraid of death? Because that's the most fearful thing that you have on planet Earth. We always hear death, but who wants to die? Nobody wants to die. But what I ask other people is to join a fight like mine of not fearing anything is, who told you that someone will kill you if you do not know when you are going to die? You understand? Only the Lord can come and take you away from this planet Earth. But while you are alive, you have an obligation to defend the rights of others. If you go back to the stories of the clever people will always tell you, success is not about how much money you have made in the bank, but how many people you have made proud, how many people you have helped. That's success. Success can only come when poor people, less powerful people, less defensive people, people who do not have the right to defend themselves. When the moment you start defending them, that's where you get the powers. That's where you go to bed, resting that you have done something for someone. I receive a lot of phone calls from people who says, thank you that you are raising this. Thank you that you are raising this. It doesn't have an impact. And you know, a guy like me will never impact some of the people. I will never impact people that got rich by inflating tellers. They wouldn't love me. The people that are sucking the blood of the poor people, they will never like me. Because my language is not theirs. I'm not speaking on their behalf. So they wouldn't like me. But now you must understand, these are the people who control the newspapers. These are the people who control the television. I'm fortunate and I'm lucky that we have an international television interviewing me. Because in Namibia you wouldn't have such a raw, real story being told. Because NBC must cut it. The newspaper cannot write what you have said because they are afraid of losing the sponsors. the people who market in the newspaper, the people who market on television, they are afraid of losing. So the people that we are fighting against are controlling the means of production. They are controlling the television. They are controlling the whole system. They write fake stories about us. And they do not want us to be live on television. Because the moment we are live on television, the truth will be spoken. Let me ask you, how many times did opposition politicians in this country ask the president of the country to have a national debate one-on-one with the other parties? The president won't come there. Because the life he's living is a fake one. Because if he's spreading the news, it's about him. But the other person cannot challenge him. This is the reality. Because the more stories he spread out, that's what people will believe. Because they control the media. That's why our people will never see the transformation of the truth coming out. They will never see the return of their land. You know why people do not want to return the land to the poor people? Because the moment you give someone land, he won't go and look for a job. He will be at his farm, doing his farming. Who will work for the bank? Who will work for the government? If everyone has land that they can farm on. They want people to be poor in order for them to control them. Because the moment everyone gets a 5,000 per month from government, for instance, for argument's sake, get 5,000 from government, who will work for the Chinese that are constructing the roads? No one. The people, once they left politics, the return of their resources that are lost. So this is the eye-opener that we brought with NEF. NEF is a good thing that happened to Namibia. It could have escalated. It could have gone to a greater level. But the people that are there are the wrong people. Because if you have an idea of that magnitude, the people that must drive it must be genuine in the cause. So that's where I see the difference in the AR and the LPM. A lot of people are asking me whether I'm associated with any of them. AR was speaking about residents. People were looking for land, accommodation. And I happen to be a person who does not own land. I don't own a house in Namibia. So if someone says 100, 200 people, 300 people in this vicinity, why don't you make applications in order for you to get a land? We did that. We made the application because it speaks about our agenda. Now, when we started LPM, it was not bound to be a political party. It was about the return of our land, the farms that we drive through every day. That was the agenda. But the unfortunate thing is, the agenda grows and the colleagues realize that the potential that they have is to have a political voice, which I have respect for. So I welcome the two movements to form a political party because it's needed in the country. But I will never be a member of any of the two on the basis that I have learned from my involvement with NEF that when you want to be involved in a movement, you have to do a thorough research. You must understand the aims and objectives of these colleagues, which I can tell you is AR agenda from the red line is an agenda of the people above the red line. These people want to come to Namibia. They are in Namibia, but they want to come to Windhoek. They want to come down south to be able to benefit from the resources that are on the south side of the red line. You must understand how our country is structured. Because on the northern side, there is no real resources. The resources are down south. Now the ambitions of the people of the north is to come and relocate on this side. Get the resources as much as possible as they can to take it back where they come from. But the problem, that's the issue of the AR. They want land. They want to reside in the southern side. You understand? But while the LPM is speaking another language, LPM says, we have lost our resources. The mines that you are mining for are not benefiting the south, where I come from. They are not benefiting the people from Okakarala. So how do we return our land back? Because the people from the northern side who never lost the land are still taking our land. Because we had the Dutch gangsters were here. They took the land. The Germans came, took the land. The whites came, took the land. Now we are starting another rhetoric. Other people are being given advantage to take the land that belongs to us. So the agendas of the two movements are different. I do not see them even sitting on one table. Because if they ought to sit at one table, it won't be a long journey. Because the way of thinking is different. The agendas are different. So we are seeing a left politics coming into the country, which is good. Because on that basis, we will see a lot of corruptions, cases coming out. And the more you speak about corruption cases coming out, the lesser the corruption would be. Because the perpetrators will start realizing that we should not do more of these things because others are watching. Cases are going to court and all these things. So the more you bring this rhetoric out, the lesser the corruption it would be. So that's my understanding with the political scope. Then what we must do is take the votes away from them. These guys, you know, when we speak like this and we speak about the president of the country, we speak about the politicians, when we speak like this, it's as if they owe us. My friend, we give the president of Namibia a blank check to run this country. Blank check. He just put the figures. He distribute this money there, he distribute this there. You understand? We give him a blank check. If I give you a blank check, you must be answerable to whatever I say. You owe me an explanation why the economy of the country is looking so strapped, the way it's looking. You must explain to me, because we can take an audit, look at how much we have spent. We got independent in 1990. From 1990 to 2018, where we are. How many budget speech did we have? How many billions did we spend as government? But can we go back to the record and say we have spent, for argument's sake, 200 billion Namibian dollars? Can we take real calculations on the impact of the money that we have put in and the return that is coming out of it? When we speak like this, people get angry. Why are you getting angry? You see, the current politicians have started a movement called SWAP. They are still, sometimes I speak to my friend, Elia Budari. I ask him, Elia, these people started their party. And the transformation of power or leadership is still within them who are in Tanganyika. But yet, you get angry when these people do not want you to be leaders. Because it's not your organization, it's their organization. They have started it, and they have the right to control it. That's why the president makes sure that his secretary general who was at the office becomes vice president. But everybody were told the lies that the second vice president of Swabo is going to take over from Hage. The real figures, the things that we're seeing on the ground. The president is grooming his friend, the former secretary general, to take over the country. This is pure rhetoric that you are seeing, being told congresses, but the real things that are happening is something different. So I get angry in this country because we have medias that are suppressing the news, that are not saying the real things. We have political commentators who are sold out. They don't speak the truth. They don't even know politics. I do not see any substance of politics coming from these guys. Because you see, lectures from the university, I like the likes of Dubisani. There are some who can give you a clear outlook of political space. But there are few. Most of them that they are using are sellouts. The guys are running for government tenders. How do they criticize the very same government where they want to get tenders from? So I get angry at educated people in this country. They are very selfish. They only think about themselves and the dogs that they are carrying at home. Because the poor people, the way they look, is like this, the educated people who are CEOs of companies maybe are living in another planet, while the Namibians, the real Namibians, are living in the shacks. So the poor people are on their own. And when they have people who speak on their behalf, like us, we are being crucified. We are being blacklisted. We are not liked. For argument's sake, the other day I went to the sauna. These people from the ruling party are asking me, what am I doing here? As if I'm not a Namibian. Things that are written in the Namibian constitution. I am receiving questions that, why am I a Secretary General of Namibia Football Players Union? So I cannot work in this country. Only people who are carrying the SWAPO card can become CEOs in this country. It's shameful. It's as if we owe people something in this country. We can't do anything. If you know that you stand up for the rights of others, you must not work well. You must not do what? My work has nothing to do with my activist work. No, it's two different things. People fail to understand that in the first instant, before I carry a Namibian card, ID, I was born as a Namibian. And the moment I become a Namibian citizen, the rest follow. My affiliation with anything. By the way, the Namibian constitution is very clear. I can associate myself with whoever I want to. I can speak on this television the way I want to. You can't crucify me. But whose agendas are we protecting? People who suck poor people's blood. I am a trade unionist. I defend the rights of the workers. The moment you start defending the rights of the workers, the other people say, this guy must not come here, he must be locked out. Why? So that you continue oppressing the people. We have statistics that are saying we have created a lot of jobs in Namibia. But in reality, on the ground, last year we lost over 60,000 jobs. Who's talking about it? Now, if there's a progress, how do we lose 60,000 jobs? So these are the realities in our country. I like the apartheid system. I like the apartheid system. The person who invented the apartheid system is one of the smartest people that I have ever read. You know why I like the apartheid system? Because whoever has created it is effective until today. The current system has adapted it. They are using it. They are dividing the Herero, they are dividing the Herero, they are dividing the Kavangos, they are dividing the Herero and Omuvambo. It's an apartheid system. You cannot go into someone's territory. I was fortunate. I drove to Katima Mulilo. And trust me, I cannot drive my animals in Oketherai, drive them to Katima Mulilo in those villages and reside there. You can't, beyond the red line, above. You cannot just come and recite anyway. But these very same people wants to live next to you. And yet when you say, but I have lost land previously, and you did not lose land, what are you looking for here? I'm tribalist. We use, you see, a tribalist person is a person who has power. Where is Olsen Kahiriri going to get power? If I'm not in charge of anything. A powerful person is a person who can be tribalist. Is a person who can be racist. Because you have control of the means of production, you decide that you are going to give it to who and not give to the other. That's the only person who can be tribalist, who can be racist. Is a person who has power, who decides who gets the means of production. The person who's giving fishing quotas is the person who can be tribalist, because he decides to which tribe I'm going to give. But yet we have been called tribalists because we are saying we want the return of our land. But you cannot be, because you see the problem with our leaders are, in a Namibian constitution, there's an element, a clause that says that protect your culture. Now, how do I protect my culture if someone is coming to mess it up where I'm living? How do we protect these things? These things are getting worse. So the reality is that the Namibian people will never be united because our leaders has adopted the apartheid system. If they did not adopt the apartheid system, go and ask them, why did they not remove the red line until today? Why? They have the laws. By the way, the ruling party has over 2/3 majority. They can change the laws. Why are you not removing the red line? You understand the reality? The reality of this country is we have adopted Fairwood system. Now everybody will hate me because I told the truth. I told them the truth that I like the apartheid system. Because the apartheid system, we have abolished it in writing. In the laws, we have removed it. But in practical sense, that's what we are practicing. This is the truth. That's why you see the white people are not suffering in this country. Because the system is still protecting them. The system is still keeping the poor people in checks. You see, the apartheid system built the Katutura houses. What did our government build? Apart from the mess housing that they have built that are falling apart. What have our government really built? For 28 years of independence, the Namibian people sometimes, some of them will be listening to what I'm saying. But can we ask real questions then? For 28 years, I was born in 1978. And I was one of the fortunate people that were born at Katutura State Hospital. Because that was shortly after it was built. It was open. Now from 1978, ever since I was born, how many times did we grow? For the growing sheds there, did we build another hospital? The whole Namibian the poor people in Windhoek must use Katutura Hospital. We never built another hospital. For 28 years, we blame who? These are the realities.
Mr. Kahiriri, there is a slogan that you always use, and you actually did mention it before. Now, the Namibian public, ourselves, we wanted to know why do you always use the statement, I feel for?
You see, you must understand one thing. In life, when you have a child at home, and you tell this child, don't come close to the fire. Don't come close to the fire. So this child starts fearing going to the fire. Fear is what keeps us weak. Fear is what controls us. That's what limits our potential. Now the reason why I say a thief folk, because why should you be afraid of someone who's already afraid of you? Because I know in this country, the politicians are fearing, they are afraid of my rise. And you see a lot of other young people also rising, because we are building more soldiers on the ground to take over from them. This is no joke. It's a process. You don't eat an elephant within a day. You eat it piece by piece by piece, and we are building more fearless fighters on the ground who wants to take over the show. Let me tell you, how many politicians are in parliament? More than 100. Do you want to tell me we have real politicians in that parliament? We have time wasters in parliament. Facts. People who are stealing from the poor. Now they fear a guy like me. They fear us. They don't want us to sit in a discussion table with them. Why? Because they have nothing to say. They are just common thugs, thieves, who run the country, who are there to drive the coffers and the resources of this country dry. That's what they are there for. So, why should I fear them? I cannot fear a person who cannot feed me.